Good evening, everyone. How are you? So I'll start the session, guys. Today's session is going to be very, very basic. I'm going to discuss more about the CPA so that it's going to be more advantageous for the people who are doing it for the first time. And if time permits, then I'll discuss more about the IRS and anything. But I don't think that is going to be likely because first session, which we are going to start on the 2nd of January, it's much better if we discuss those aspects so that everyone is going to be helpful with that also. Okay, so just to give a quick background about myself. Hi everyone, my name is Abhinav. I'm a qualified CA, CPA and MBA. I hold almost 14 years of experience working with various corporates, private equity, consulting firm, and currently I'm working with an angel fund. I have the experience of executing various structured deals across the globe. Besides my corporate career, I've been very actively involved on the academic sides too, taking sessions for the CPA, US CFA, enrolled agent, and various management and the business courses. So what we can do, we can start the session with a quick round of introduction. Most of you I'm already aware, already know, but for the benefit of everyone, let's do a quick introduction and then we can start the session. You guys can introduce yourself in the following categories like the name, education, experience, current organization, and do you have any knowledge about the US taxation or not? Because this is going to be a significant bunch for us in the entire regulation itself, right? Okay, so that's the basic ground we are going to cover today. We'll discuss a bit about the US exam. What is this exam is all about? What are the steps for you to becoming a CPA? Exam pattern, exam process, curriculum. We'll look the all the 4 courses at a glance, and then in particular, I'll go and discuss the reg, which is reg. In that case, backer software, I will not go much in detail. You guys have already seen on your own. If you're facing any problem, please let us know. Lastly, your single point of contact, who is going to be there in case you have faced any problem. And lastly, I'll open it up for the question if you guys have any questions. Okay, these are the 5 steps for you to becoming a CPA. In that case, first get your eligibility done, get your evaluation done, after that start preparing for your exam, and lastly conduct your exam and apply for the license. In that case, all steps are very important. First 2-3 steps, if you see into this, which is about the eligibility and the evaluation, this is something which is more going to be procedural, but in the CPA it is also very crucial. So I would suggest, with the help of the team, please get it done, because this is something which is going to be very, very non-productive. It is unnecessarily suck your energy. No point of doing that. All the energy should go into these 2 steps, which is the preparation and which is the writing your exams in that case. Okay, these are the 2 steps which matters in this case. These are the 4 subjects, guys, we have, which is the audit. Second is the BEC, a business environment. Third is going to be FAR, which is a financial accounting and reporting. And lastly, it is going to be the regulation. Every subject is of the 4 hours. It contains MCQs, multiple choice questions, SIMS, which is a simulation. And lastly, it is going to be the written communication, which is only limited in the business BEC part, otherwise nowhere else in that case. So different questions, different MCQs for the different subject in this case, different TBS also for the different subject in that case. That's the exam pattern. All the three subjects are going to be 50, 50, 50, barring the BC, as we discussed. Some portion lies for the written communication. For the reg, it's going to be 50% simulation and 50% is going to be multiple choice. Pattern, what is the pattern? Obviously, it's going to be a multiple choice question. That means it's a simple multiple choice question. It's more like a KBC only, where there is a 1 question, you have the 4 answers, you have to pick the right answer in that case. No negative marking. So that's why we always suggest, do not leave any question unanswered. Always and always answer. Even if you're not understanding what is the question, at least go with your gut feeling and apply. Just never leave any question unanswered in that case. Simulation, TBS, task-based simulation, what is that? So basically, this is something which is more like a case study. They will give you a case study. On the basis of that, you need to figure out, you need to answer those questions itself. Pretty much like what you do in your job also. You will use the Excel in this, you will use the calculator in this case, and all the conceptual what you have done, you will apply here. For in this case, reg, maybe some portion of the forms would be there in the TBS. So you might have to fill the some portion of the form also. But don't worry about this, it's not that complicated also. Last, the written communication, which is only in case of a BEC, which is you have to write the memos, you have to write the letters to the CFO and everything would be there. Okay, now this is the exam process, guys. So exam, as I discussed earlier, it's a 4-hour exams, but the designated time to you is going to be 4 hours 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a scheduled break time, right? Which you get after the 3 testlets. So here you get the 15 minutes scheduled break you get here. So these are the 5 testlets, right? So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, and 5. What is a testlet? Testlet is more like a unit. Once you finish one unit, you enter, submit it, only then you will see the second testlet. Once you submit the testlet, you cannot go back to that testlet again. So these are the 5 testlets. Once you keep submitting this, you will keep getting the new testlets in that case. So for clearing this subject, you have to finish all the 5 testlets. Okay, within testlets you can move anytime, that should not be a problem, but once you submit the testlet, you cannot go back to that testlet. So you get the break after the 3 testlets. So you get the 15 minutes break after the 3rd testlet. It's your choice if you want to take that break. If you do not want to take that break, that's also a choice. You can continue with writing your exams in that case. Let's look at the curriculum at a glance. This is the audit curriculum, which is containing your ethics, professional responsibility, assessing the risk, planned response, performing the further procedures, and obtaining evidence, and forming conclusion reporting. I think you are already doing the audit ongoing with the ongoing batch. Your faculty would have discussed a lot in this case. So I'll skip this portion. BEC is going to be more about the corporate governance. It's going to be internal controls. Then it's going to be economic concepts, demand, supply, markets. All of it would be there in the economics. Then we have the financial management, typical, very, very simple concept of the financial management in this case. Then we have the IT, information technology. And lastly, we have the operation management, which is the costing, FP&A, budgeting. All of it will be the part of the BEC itself. Lastly, we have the FAR. FAR is going to be the US GAAP. It's all about the US GAAP. There used to be some major chunk earlier for the US GAAP versus the IFRS, but it has been recently removed also. So it is going to be governmental accounting, state accounting, what are the compliances for the US GAAP, everything would be there in this. Lastly, something what we are here for, which is the regulation, which is also a reg. It contains a major chunk for the taxation. That's why I was asking how many of you are aware of the US taxation. Most of you are not aware of the US taxation, which is a great thing. It's a blessing in the disguise, because when you're coming with the preconceived notion, you will not understand what we are discussing in that case. So it's a good thing you have not read the US taxation. It's even a better thing if you're not a CA, because for a chartered accountant, I understand, I am also a CA, so I understand when we have read a lot of taxation in CA Inter, CA Final, and we are coming with a preconceived notion. Okay, that's how the tax works. 5 heads, add all the income of the 5 heads, give the chapter 6A deduction, calculate the tax, and that's how we work in that case. But US taxation is going to be altogether a different ball game. There is no heads, there are no deductions, there are different kind of deductions going to be. Absolutely different ball change, different altogether different ground in that case. That's why if you have not read, very nice, it's a very nice thing. Do not get concerned about that I have not done. Many people are chartered accountant, but I'm not chartered accountant. Don't worry, it's a blessing in disguise for you that you have not done, because the clean slate is much better than the dirty slate. So it's good if you have not done it. Okay, that's the content for us. First is going to be the ethics, your professional responsibility. So what are your ethics responsibility once you become the CPA? What are the things you need to follow in that case? In what are the scenarios the license can gets cancelled in that case, when the ACCA is going to suspend, all of it is going to be the part of it. Federal tax procedure, so in case the person is, as a CPA, you're filing the return for your clients, what are the procedure you need to follow in that case, what is your responsibility as a tax return preparer. So all of it is going to be the part of it. This portion is going to be slightly theoretical. You need to learn a lot of X, because this is just the procedural. So obviously you are supposed to learn a lot of it in that case. Then we have business law. Business law is something what you would have read in your college also, which is the normal contract accounting, sale of goods act. So all of it, bankruptcy, insolvency, chapter 11 bankruptcy. So all of it is not that difficult at all. It's on a very surface level, agency, contract, very basic level in that case. Last 3 are the total taxation. First is the property transaction. What is property transaction? It is basically the capital gains, what we read in India. So capital gains, when the capital gains is going to be levied, what are the types of the capital gains it is going to be, what kind of gains, is it going to be long term, short term, when you can avoid the tax, is there going to be any exemption or not. So all of it is going to be the part of the property transaction. Then it is going to be individual taxation, which is very, very exciting and very interesting in that case. What kind of return you file, uh, what are the adjustments available to you, what are the credits available for you, all of it very exciting, very interesting. In this case, when you read the US taxation, you will realize how logical the US taxation is and how helpful it is as an individual, how advantageous it is for you, as and when the changes, things are changes. For example, because of the COVID, things have been completely changed, and the US taxation has also changed because of that only, which shows how much the country is concerned about their own citizen itself. So it's a good learning for you also. Lastly, is going to be the federal taxation of the entities, various kinds of the entities we are going to discuss in this: C corporation, S corporation, partnership, tax exempt organizations, state, gift, all of it we are going to discuss in that case. REC is going to be slightly overwhelming when you're reading it for the first time. It is going to be slightly overwhelming in that case, but it's not that difficult in that case. If we go step by step slowly, it's going to be very easy subject in that case. Okay. Whatever I'm saying, if you're not understanding for the first time, it's absolutely fine. We have many hours for the same. We have 90 hours, 100 hours for doing this stuff only. So don't worry about this. Okay. No problem, Ashish. We are just started. Nothing concrete we have missed. You have not missed concrete. Okay. So I'll just quickly cover what is there in the regulation. As I discussed earlier also regarding the test lists, as I said, there are 5 test lists which are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First 2 test lists about the multiple choice question. That means every test let is going to be 38 MCQs, 38 MCQs, right? So you get time to 38 MCQs, so that total 76 MCQs you have to write in the reg. And then we have the 8 task based simulation. As I discussed, you will get 15 minutes break after your third test let. Don't worry, how we practice for the MCQs I'm going to discuss with you, how we prepare for the TBS we are going to discuss, lot many things we are going to discuss. Don't worry on those areas. Skill assessment. This is important for us to understand. What is that? So basically, first of all, we'll understand the concept in the class. Whatever for example, if I talk about the individual taxation, what kind of return you file, what is the income, what are the incomes we are going to include, what kind of deduction you will get in that case. We'll understand that. We'll analyze. We'll understand in that case. Then obviously, guys, you need to remember it, you need to understand also, and you need to remember some portion of it. For example, if I tell that there are 5 types of the returns, obviously you have to learn that these are the 5 categories of the return: single, married filing jointly, married filing single, married filing separately, and qualifying widower, and the head of the household. Obviously these are the things you have to learn in that case, right? So analyze, understand, then finally learning some portion in that case. And lastly, it's going to be the application, right? Till the time you are not cracking your MCQs, till the time you're not cracking your TBS, it's completely futile, right? So that means we will learn into it. How will you apply those in the MCQs also? Because that's the ultimate thing. You need to knowledge is okay, but eventually you're supposed to crack the exams, right? So we'll do all the 3 aspects. We'll work on all the 3 aspects. I'll try to give you more and more notes in the class so that your learning process is going to be slightly faster in that case. Okay. Any questions, guys, up till here? Please feel free to ask. Any question? No? Okay. Now let's look at the content slightly in detail. Yes. So Ashish, I'm going to discuss the module wise. Earlier, I've just given the very broadly. Now I'm going to discuss every item module wise in that case. We are starting our batch on 2nd of January, Urja. Okay. This is the first chapter. So these are in total, we have the 8 chapters. You can say these are the 8 chapters in that case. What is the ideal sequence, as in the exam wise? How should we write the exams? After which? Okay, I'll take up your question, Kasif. Let's finish the presentation. I'll take up your question on that case. Please ask me then, okay, once. Okay. Now, first is going to be, these are the 8 chapters we have in this case. First 2 chapters are the individual taxation. Then we have the capital gains. Then we have the entity taxation. Flow through entities, again, going to be entity taxation, multiple tax jurisdiction. That means it is going to be international taxation, right? Again, this is going to be the entity taxation, professional responsibility, what I discussed earlier, any kind of responsibility as a CPA, tax return preparer, what are the compliances you need to do as a CPA. In that case, all of it is going to be the part of it. So almost, if you see, almost 6 modules pertains to the taxation only, right? Last 2 are going to be business law. Business law is going to be, as I discussed, agency, contract, and everything is going to be here. Okay, let's see every module one by one now. Okay, so Ashish, you will get the better sense in this case. When we see every module, you'll understand it better. So that's the first, individual taxation. You will talk about what are the filing requirement, what types of returns we have, what are the filing status we have. As I discussed, there are 5 types of filing status. Gross income, what kind of incomes you will include in this case, what are the kind of incomes you're not going to include in that case. It is going to be the part of the first 2 modules. What are the items, for example, if you're a partner of any partnership firm, what are the incomes are you going to include in that case? All of it will come here. Lastly, the loss limitation and the ESOPs, right? Employee stock options, how is going to be the taxability of it? All is going to be the part of it. Second is going to be, again, individual taxation. First portion, if you look, it is more about income, right? Filing status, income, what are the income coming? Second is more about deductions. What kind of deduction you are receiving? Adjustment is another one category of deduction. Itemized deduction is another category of deduction. Then how would you compute the tax? What are the deduction credits you will get from the taxation? All is going to be the part of it, right? So this is the various types of it. So this is pretty much like a deduction and tax calculations. This is going to, first is going to be about what kind of return and what kind of return and the income is going to be. Yes, Himanshu, we are going to cover the 4.1. Have you guys received 4.1, everyone? As in 4.1 is the version 4.1, or you have 4.0? Okay, don't worry. What I'll do in the class, I'm aware what are the changes in the 4.0 and 4.1. I'm aware of those changes. There are not many changes. Wherever it is, I find that this is the additional items. If you are having, I'll keep on telling you that people who are having 4.0, these are the additions you need to make. Okay. Don't worry about that, Rishikesh. We'll update the book. I'll update your book. If you are having 4.0, don't worry. During the class only, I'll upgrade it to 4.1. And if I feel that there are many changes in that case, I'll keep a separate amendment class for you. Is that okay? But don't worry, the changes are not many. Changes are not going to be that many. But no one is having 3.7, right? No one is having 3.7. Is there anyone who having 3.7? Gaurav, you have 3.7. Sure, because Lalit, I think your course would be 2020 law in that case, I guess so. Don't worry. What I'll do, I'll share the separate screenshot. You will get the replay understanding on that. You'll get the amendment in that case. Don't worry. Sure, Sandy. I think you will. If you have not received Sandy, you will receive 4.1 only. So don't worry. Okay, moving on to the property taxation. As I say, this is nothing but the property taxation. That is nothing but the capital gains, right? So what is going to be the basis? What is going to be the period of holding? All is going to be the part of it when you're disposing it off your asset, when it is going to be taxable, when it is not going to be taxable. In that case, any related party transactions, would it be taxable? Would it not be taxable? All of it is going to be the part of the property taxation in this case. Corporate taxation is going to be, so we have two modules for the corporate taxation here. When the corporation is corporate, when you're forming the corporate, what are the tax implication in that case? When you calculated the taxable income, what are the addition, deletion you do in this case? What is the difference between the book income, taxable income? How do you compute the tax? Consolidated tax return, that means you're filing along with your subsidiary associates in that case. What are the loss limitations? What are the transactions if you are having a you are the owner of a partnership firm, you are the owner of a S corporation, all of it will do it. Guys, I'm just giving you very broad idea just to give you a flavor, that's all. If you are not understanding at all, that's absolutely fine, because we are going to do the same very slowly, okay? So don't get worried about this. Flow through entities is a special type of it. NOL is net operating loss, Ashish. Flow through entities, something like S corporation, something like the partnership firm, something like state, and everyone is a flow through entities. We are going to discuss all of it. Multiple jurisdiction, it is going to be international tax. These two are the international tax for us. Lastly, we talk about the trust, state, tax exempt organization, just like any charitable organization. When you're giving donation to it, all of it is going to be this. These three modules, these last 2-3 modules are going to be slightly theoretical for you, because that's more learning about that. What are your duties? What are your responsibility when you're filing the return? What are the things you need to consider in it? So a lot of it, right? All of it is going to be more theoretical from that angle. Last two is about the business law, which is the agency, contract, surety, secure transaction, agency, something you would have read earlier in your CA or maybe in your college also. Then we have the bankruptcy. FSRA has been removed, it's not here. Rest everything is there. Business structure, so what kind of structure you are having, which is LLP, LLC, partnership, sole proprietor, C corporation, everything is going to be there in that case. Very easy in that case. Okay, these are the 8 modules, these are the 8 chapters we are going to do. In that case, we are going to do the multiple modules in that case. Okay, any questions, guys, up till here about the content on whatever we have done? No? Okay. Backer software, guys, I think you would have seen the software. It is something which is accessible to you for the 24 months. It includes the lectures, not these lectures which we are going to read, for which you will get the access for the ATA tuition. Have you guys received the access for the ATA tuition, especially people who have recently joined? Yes, Prachi, 4.1 is the latest module. If you have not received the access of the ATA tuition, please get it, because in case you are missing the live lectures also, which is absolutely fine, you can see the recorded lectures also. Generally, we take 24 to 48 hours to record there. So please get this access of the ATA tuition so that you can see the recorded lectures also. In your backer, it's as the LMS, 88 learning. Yes, 88 tuition or 88 learn. I'm not sure. Is it 88 learn? It's 88 learn then. Right. So this is the LMS for you. You guys can get the access on that case. About the backer software, you have the MCQs, you have the task-based simulation, all of it is there. But I would not suggest to directly jump onto the backer software under day one. First, let's do a couple of classes together. After every class, I'm going to do a couple of MCQs with you. So don't worry about this. You will obviously get a better idea about that also. And once you're done with the concept and everything, then feel free to jump onto that, the MCQs and the TBS also. Okay, candidate material. So in case you want to see what is the pattern for the CPA, anything, you can definitely go to the CPA examination, AICPA website. There you will find everything. You will find a pattern. In that case, you can find the mock papers also over there. Generally, NASBA also keeps on releasing their candidate bulletin. So in case you have anything, you want to know anything about this, you keep on referring the NASBA circular also in that case. Our single point of contact is going to be CPA classes in this case. You can email on that. We will have a separate WhatsApp group also. And I think we have a very active, do we have a Telegram group for this also? I think for reg, we have not created till now. So the team is going to create that also. So make sure you are the part of it, both the WhatsApp and the Telegram group, so that any amendments are coming, any updates are coming, any cancellation of the class or any amendments in the timings of the class also, you should be aware of that also. No, Rishikesh, there are 2 mock papers on the AICPA website, which is free. Okay, reg is there. Okay, fine. Then that is the same only. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about the ELISA Award, Sales Award. What is that award? This is the award if you are clearing your subject, all the 4 subjects in the first attempt, and your cumulative average, your average of the 4 subject score is almost 95.5. In that case, you get the ELISA Sales Award, which is a very prestigious award. In India, many people have already won this. This is something which is going to be a great addition to your CV itself. So if you are pursuing, please pursue that also. If the time permits, if you can put in that much efforts, and if you have that much availability of the time also, I would suggest definitely pursue that. It's going to be a very good add-on to your CV itself. Okay. All right, that's pretty much from my side, guys. Please ask if you have any question. If you were asking about something, feel free to ask. What is the best sequence for appearing in this? All 4 in single shot, Sapna? So you're saying writing all the 4 subjects in one go? Okay, checking for that. Okay. No, it's 1 by 1 is okay. You can write it. 1 by 1 is okay. It's just like one has to clear all the subject in first go. That's all. What is the best sequence? Honestly, Rahman, I get it a lot, this question. What sequence? I would suggest it will depend on what kind of preparation you are having in this case. It will depend on the preparation side also, how much preparation you are having and how much the visibility of the time you are having going forward, right? If you think that the next couple of days, couple of months for you is going to be lighter because of your work, less work pressure, or if you're not working, that means you can spare more ones. I would suggest try to take up the difficult subject. If you are feeling that, for example, right now we are sitting in December, you feel the January, February, March, I don't have that much of work pressure, or if I'm not working, in that case, I would suggest please pick up the difficult subject. Difficult, easy, I cannot tell you that thing. That is something you have to gauge. What is difficult, what is easy for you? Some people find different people find a different subject easy or difficult in that case. So find out what works for you in that case. What I am saying, why I'm saying so, if you have the time, try to tackle the difficult subject, and when you are not getting that much time, try to attack the lesser subject in that case. But be careful about this. Once you clear any subject, right? For example, you clear Rahman, in this case, you clear any exam, let's say on 30th January, you get 30th January 2022. In that case, you get 18 months. You get 18 months to clear the rest of the 3 subjects. So you have to be careful about this also, because your waiting time, your timer of the 18 months will start after 30th January in that case. So make sure you are planning that ways only. If you want to start with the difficult one, start with the difficult, so that you will not be worried about the easy ones later on. It's up to you. What I will tell you my approach, the rest you guys can plan that ways. I would like to tackle the difficult one first. Why so? Reason being, once I clear my difficult exam first, I don't have that pressure on my head that, oh, I need to do the difficult one. Once I clear the difficult one, I'm very easy. I know that easier subjects are coming right now, and I do not need to worry about that much. Vis-a-vis, if I pick up the easy one first and I clear that also, 18 months will start, and I would have a lot of pressure on my head that I need to clear the difficult one also. So I would personally go for the difficult one first, and then the easier one. What is difficult, what is not, it's up to you in that case. But yes, definitely some people prefer doing the easier one first, because they feel, if I do the easier one first and I clear the exam, it will definitely boost my confidence. It would be really good for my confidence. Up to you. Both approaches are absolutely fine. What works for you is works for you. I think for me, I think Again, I don't get influenced with what I say, because you need to make up your own mind. I think for me, the reg is difficult and audit is difficult, because audit, I am really bad in learning. I'm really bad in the learning and the cramming part. So I find audit very difficult, because it's very much a cramming part of it. Reg is a little complicated. When I started it initially, I find very difficult reg, because everything is so unique. I started my CPA after doing my CA. So I was just so much confused. Why are we doing taxation like that? I have read something like that. So it was very overwhelming for me. That's why I find the reg difficult. Otherwise, reg is not difficult. Once you understand in the right way, it's not difficult. Audit I find difficult because of the theory part. Reg I find difficult because it was so much new concept which is there. FAR I find the easiest one, because eventually it's just the accounts. So whether it is the Indian accounting standard, IFRS, or the US GAAP, it does not bother me that much. BEC is, I would keep the second easiest, because it is still easier. It's on the surface level, but the variety of the concepts are there. So you have FM, costing, IT, eco, you have corporate government. So variety of the topics are there. That's why I placed the BEC second. Third, I would place audit. Fourth, I will put the reg. But again, this is my choice. Maybe you are good with the audit. Maybe you are into the audit assurance department and you will find it much easier. So please try that, do that also. Sorry guys, I'm just taking up all the questions one by one, okay? So Vivek, generally, once you appear for the exam, generally you get your results within a span of 15 days, 15, 18 days. But in case of a BEC, generally you take a week or the 10 days extra, because in the BEC, we have a written communication portion, which needs to be checked manually. That's why it again, 2 months, it's again 2 weeks extra for the BEC, but generally you receive your results within 15 days or 20 days. In fact, lesser than that also, 10 days, 15 days. Are the changes to the 4.1 available on software? Yes, Kiran, it is available on the 4.1. Changes are available on the software. Even if you do not have, please ask the team. Team is going to provide that. Uja's question: if we take the reg classes now, by then we give the exams. If you press any also, so we should take before the next law. So Urja, till whatever we are doing it's valid. Whatever we are going to do, it is going to be valid till the July 2022. Okay, and I'm looking to finish the classes maybe by the March end, or maybe the 1st April of this. See, if you guys are preparing along with the classes, nothing like it. You can easily write your exam 15 days or 20 days after finishing the classes itself. And I would highly recommend doing this only. Generally, what people does, they keep on finishing the batch and then they will decide what is going to be the subject I want to write. Don't do that. Reason being, guys, by the time you're finishing all the 4 subjects, again, the first subject you have done in the first category will again be amendments in that case. Then you will keep on doing the amendment and you will be stuck up in that circle. Prepare, be thorough when you're doing the classes, be constant revision, do the constant revision to make sure by the time the classes are over, make sure you have done at least the 2 to 3 rounds of revision. After that, take a 15 days break, prepare, maybe do 1 or 2 more rounds and write your exams. That's going to be, if you have done this, trust me, this is the best strategy, and trust me, nothing can stop you in this case, because you need 2 to 3 rounds of revision for sure. You need the 2 to 3 rounds of preparation for the MCQs. I'm not going to say that people have done it by doing the 1 round also. People have done it by reading it 1 time also, but that could be anything. They would have done it earlier also. It could be a fluke also. I would definitely not suggest it. I would say 2 to 3 rounds are definitely advisable. Okay, so please try doing that. If you are doing it, Urja, along with it, nothing beats like that. 15 days break after that, it's going to be more than sufficient. I answered your point, Gaurav. It's not a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea that you get to know all the 4 subjects, then start doing that. I don't think so, because by the time the earlier classes would have been amended and your license for the backer will lapse, your books will be older in that case. Again, the amendments will come. you will be stuck up too much. And not even that, Gaurav, in that case, your morale will also take a beating, right? It's just like you will be in your head, you are doing the CPA for almost 1 year, but practically you are not even writing the exam. You yourself will be so much morally, mentally, you will be too much discharged, and your confidence, and not even the confidence, but your motivation will go down with that. And I don't think that's a very good idea. I think you have joined the classes, be with the full motivation, start giving the exams, right? The moment prepare the classes, start giving the exam. That's the best strategy. I think Joshna, I answered that point also. So Lalit, how much time rec takes to prepare? If you are doing this way along with the classes, you are doing 2 to 3 rounds, you're good to go after 15 days of preparation of the batches also. So Sandy, I'm planning to finish the classes by first week of April. Maybe you can take 15th of April. You can write your exams in May. Reg needs some, guys. Reg needs some time. So if you have cleared a reg, trust me, it's a substantial chunk of the CPA you have finished. Better to do the live lectures only, Ashish, once you have done the live lectures, as in the current batch which is going in, it's better you do it. But even after that, for example, after 4.1, there is a next version which is called 4.2. We are going to provide the amendment classes, so don't worry about that. I'll ensure and ask the team that we will keep a separate amendment session for you, which will upgrade you from 4.1 to 4.2. So don't worry on that. Any questions, guys? See, I know most of you would have given the exams, then that's a different point. But most of you have not given the exam. You would be attending the classes first time, or maybe you have done a couple of batches, but you have not really given the exams. I know it's slightly overwhelming. It is same with me also. When I started this, my CPA, it was so overwhelming. You do not know when to do it. But maybe fortunately for me, or I don't know, unfortunately for me, I don't have a choice, because I have to go to states for writing my exams. So I have to prepare all the 4 subjects. I don't have a choice in that case. So don't make it that. Don't push too much. I would do not suggest, don't push it too much. Try to do when the motivation is higher, then do it. No, Urja, we have done already 4.1 till the time there is no amendment 4.0. But in case there are any amendments, you please post it on the group, and I'll keep a separate class for that. There is no level of, it's a good question, Rahman, you ask. There is no difficulty in the Testlet 1 and the Testlet 2, but generally CPA is an adaptive exam. What do you mean by adaptive? Adaptive means that as you are progressing, Rahman's, for example, Rahman, you are writing your exam, and if you are performing it well, then the level will slightly go up. The level will slowly started going up. So do not get worried about this. Maybe you are performing it well, because that's why the level is going up in that case. I hope that answers your point. Anything else, guys, do you have in your mind? No? 2 things I want from you. Entire MCQs in red. I didn't get your point, Ashish. For the timing, there is no amendment in that case. 4.2. I think the 4.2 would be released in maybe July 2022, and most likely we'll get our hands on August or September in this case, unless there are something big is happening in US. Hopefully not, because of COVID. Nothing bigger is happening right now, so which is good. Unless there is something which is drastic comes up, that's a different point. We might have to incorporate, but either for the timing, no changes in that case. No, not all the things will change. Ashish, I didn't get your point. What are you saying? In reg, we'll have MCQs only. No, Ashish, we have both. We have the MCQs also, and we have the task-based simulations also, both. Don't worry, all of it we'll practice in the class itself. What I suggest you guys, two things I would suggest you. Obviously, we are going to cover the book in the class, but along with the class, I'll keep on asking you to make this note also, that notes also, so that your burden of reading the too much text is going to be reduced. I'll try to, and I will definitely going to do in the reg, because that's going to make your things much easier. In that case, I would suggest, if possible, keep a separate register, make a separate register for yourself, wherein you can just make the notes. In that case would be helpful for you, because if you think then I'm going to see the lecture later because I have the recorded lecture, trust me, that later will not come. In the class only, when we are discussing, when I'm making it, please start making then and there, so that by the time class is over, your job is done. In that case, don't push it for the later stage, that I will see later, by pausing the video, by making the screenshot. I don't think that will work. Please, along with that, if you are making the registers, would be very helpful, so that there is going to be backer book for you, which you obviously need to finish it, and the register for you, which I'll try to condense the backer book itself. In that case would be better in that case. Okay, in the register, one very small thing I would say, leave initial few pages, at least 4 to 5 pages, leave that as the index, so that you can refer in that index where you are writing, let's say, S corporation. You can mention that S corporation in the register, and make the number, page number, write entire register, write all the page number in your register, so that you can make an index initially, so that you can say, yes, or S corporation is on page number 41, partnership firm is on page number 49, you can say C corporation is on page number 57, right? So that you will track it much better. Because if you keep on writing on the register, then again it's just a Pandora box, right? Before the exam you will keep on flipping the pages, no fun in that case. So when you have the index in your hand, you will have a better control with it, so that if you know that, okay, I need to revise my S corporation, initially you will go to the backer, read all the backer, you will go to page number 41 in your register, and your S corporation is done. But if you have no page number in your register, you will be just all over the place, right? You will keep on shuffling it. That 10 seconds of shuffling will not matter now. That 10 seconds of shuffling 8 hours before the exam will matter a lot. So start saving time, start being more structured in this way. This way you can write your exams much timely, much better way. Alam, we'll start. Our classes are going to be, 5 to 9:30 p.m. It's a very good question, Ajay, that how much time do you need along with the classes? I would say daily, if possible, try to give on the weekday, try to give 2 to 3 hours. I know it sounds very, very much. Okay. Try to do stretch at least an hour on a regular basis would be great. If you can stretch 1 hour from Monday to Friday, that's going to be good. On weekend, if possible, at least give 3 to 4 hours on a weekend at least. So that means in the entire week, try to squeeze in and give 15 hours in that case. That's going to be, if you could stretch 15 hours, trust me, it's going to be much, much helpful, and it's going to be much better in that case. It sounds very, very much. Initially, 1 hour sounds very much, but I would say do anything, right? For example, 15 minutes, start with 15 minutes in that case. Yes, Rishikesh, I'm talking about apart from the class, so that Rishikesh, by the time our batch is over, you are already done with the 2-3 rounds of division. No, Urja, because it is already clashing with your audit batch. So I think, yeah. Anything else, guys? I think that's all good. Okay, wonderful. No, I think the timing are going to be difficult now, because I accordingly booked my calendar. Now it's going to be a little difficult to change the timings. But don't worry, it's going to be good time. Winters, hot coffee, lectures is going to be a good combination. Don't worry. Okay, you'll love regulation. It's very, very interesting topics. Don't worry. There are recorded lectures on 98 on the previous batch of regulation, but the same bit removed. I have no idea about the removal part of it, Akash, but I do not suggest you to see those lectures because that's going to be the old lectures and that's not going to be relevant for the current sessions. So honestly, you'll waste your time honestly doing the duplication of that. That's the old law. Okay, wonderful guys. Let's stop it here. I'll see you guys on second. Any questions which you have, please let me know, and I'm looking forward to be in touch. Thank you. Bye bye. Good luck.